Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. This video is our recap and review of The Flash Armageddon Part 3. So, we don't really do a lot of recap review videos for the CW shows, but I'm a big fan of the crossovers. So, we continue here, and we're just going to kind of keep going through this 5-part event, which to me, it still doesn't really feel like a crossover. It feels like the regular season of The Flash with a lot of cameos, but here we are. Um, so we come back. We left off last week. Oh, by the way, full spoilers for the Flash Armageddon, which is the first 3 episodes of the season 8 of the Flash on the CW. So we left off last week. The Flash meets up with Black Lightning at the Hall of Justice after finding the big revelation that Joe is dead and the Flash didn't remember for some reason, which we will probably dive into a little bit this week. Barry does not remember Joe dying 6 months ago. So we have two stories. We have Team Flash trying to figure out what's going on, where Barry went, and then we have Barry at the Hall of Justice. So we'll leave that part towards the end because it's the more straightforward piece of this. Um, so we know Despero's still hunting the Flash. And the team also needs to figure out where he is. So Cecile tries to tap into her mental powers to figure out where the Flash is, but they need to recruit a villain who comes back from maybe a few seasons ago. I'm not really familiar with her. Um, and then in the meanwhile, Iris is investigating Joe's dead. After reviewing the footage, something kind of seems a little off. Which, oh man, Joe's alleged death. So far, I'll call it alleged because hopefully, Joe isn't really dead. Um, but it was so like non inconsequential. Like some dude kind of pushes him onto the train tracks, and then the train just shows up at the wrong time. Seems pretty shady. So yeah. So uh, after Iris goes down to review stuff at the train tracks and the train station, she realizes that there seems to be something off. They recruit this one dude who I'm not very familiar with because I haven't watched. I didn't watch last season, but he's the one with the still force that's been helping Iris control her powers, from what I've seen. Um, so they realize that there's some particles that don't belong there. So somebody has definitely been messing with time when it comes to Joe's death. We still don't know what's going on. Uh, I have a pretty big idea just based on some promo pictures that we've seen for episode 4 and the way this episode ended as well. Um, so now the team finds Flash. Unfortunately, Despero also finds Flash based on them looking mentally for Barry. But in the meanwhile, the really cool part of this episode, I thought, was happening at the Hall of Justice. So we learned that the Justice League that was formed after the last event, after the crisis, um, they installed what they call the Injustice Protocols, which means that each one of the members of the league has somebody that will take them out if need be, in case they go rogue or their powers freak out or whatever the case may be. In this case, Black Lightning will rob Flash of his Speed Force forever. So therefore, not allowing Barry to tap into the Speed Force any longer. Unfortunately, Jefferson can't fully do it. Well, I guess fortunately for us and the Flash, but unfortunately for their plans, they don't really. It doesn't really happen. So we do get a big fight, kind of between Jefferson and the Flash. But then we also Despero runs in, finds them. But the real crux of this episode comes in like at the last 2 minutes. So everyone's at the Hall of Justice, and we're looking for they're trying to figure out how to stop Despero while trying to figure out who this other person using the time messing with timeline is. And towards the end of the episode, we see um, everybody gathered in 2031. Uh, Barry he's having visions or has been knocked over into the future. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments if you know a little bit better. But he follows a sign for a sign that says West Party, and he kind of keeps walking into the restaurant. There's a celebration in progress. We see a lot of familiar faces, although I will say they keep bringing the same people. They have Alex from Supergirl. They have a few other people. They don't really have any of our A-listers, um, but you would think they would. So uh, we are seeing that this is an engagement party for Iris West and Eobard Thawne. So you can only imagine what's going on. So Barry, like how he takes this. We do have Tom Cavanaugh reprising the role of Eobard, which I always like Tom Cavanaugh. I think he's been one of my favorite parts of the Flash. So yeah, this feels like straight out of the comics. Like you could see that cover of like the Flash walking in on his wife, and Reverse Flash like getting married or something. So wow. So I'm kind of on board, and it's been kind of the same for the episodes for all three episodes. Like the episodes will be fine, they'll be okay, they'll be very serviceable. Like it's just a regular episode of the Flash, but at the end, that's when the real fun begins. So let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the future. We have, like I said, we've seen some pictures and stuff. We know that there's the Neil McDonough still should be appearing in one of the episodes in the future. So we have two more parts left to this event. And man, I love any story with Eobard. I think Reverse Flash is probably the Flash's greatest villain. And as much as I love the Rogues, I think the Reverse Flash is the one that really makes his life, a living hell. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. Leave a comment, leave a like, share this video with your friends, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching, everyone.